Another exclusive live session with the Hype Magazine.
You need to stop what you're doing. Pay attention.
World famous Hype Magazine. Throw it down right now.
Hey everybody, this is Jerry with the Hype Magazine. We're on with a special live session today. We've got a young man, large and in charge, man, Mr. Ken Lawson. You've seen him on the Parkers.
I did in the house with LL Cool J. That's where I originally come from with Maya Campbell. It's a beautiful situation with that.
Okay. And the Parkers as well.
And the Parkers. And I also,
Monique.
Did Malibu's Most Wanted.
That was crazy. I remember that one.
Yeah.
Like 09 or something. Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, that was a nice one, man, with Jamie Kennedy, man. Had my little cameo in there with Blair Underwood. Nice.
That was hilarious. Well, right now, I mean, we've seen your face just about everywhere, on big screen. I mean, you've been on the screen with heavyweights your entire career. You know what I mean? And now you're jumping in to season 2 of In the Cut with Dorien Wilson.
Yes.
And you're jumping in a hectic part, man. You're playing Kenny, his long lost illegitimate son, and you drop in on it. You're 31.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a crazy situation. I mean, just being able to be blessed with this opportunity is one thing, but just dealing with the complexities of this character is very interesting because I have a lot of some of my friends they have just don't have that much relationships with their fathers and things like that, and so even with taking all those things into consideration, that's why I approached this role and just trying to bring in some of that realness to it. At the same time, like I said, it's a comedy, so we were putting these things together, man. I'm hoping that through these episodes that they're seeing that they're looking at how a father and a son are trying to bond after so many years of not knowing each other. It's just two different energies, but they are the same. But they just trying to mesh together. I just love it.
It is a pretty serious role, even though for comedy, and I got an opportunity to watch the screener. First of all, well, like I said, you've been on the set with heavyweights pretty much all your career that we know of, but this situation, how do you infuse the seriousness of some of those issues that you discussed about, not knowing your father and you coming in late? I mean, you're coming in as a 31-year-old son and say, "Hey, Dad, how are you? I want to join the family business." And, I mean, how do you guys, get the point across? And what is it that you look to bring to a character that presents both the seriousness plus, stays in line with the comedic piece? I mean, what technique is that?
I mean, that's just doing some real honest soul searching. Just understanding that, like I said, I have associates and friends, and even with my own personal life, my brother, my personal brother, my oldest brother in my family, I didn't meet him until I was 17 years old myself. And so, you can only imagine how it was when my oldest brother met our father, the awkwardness, and my father passed on, rest in peace, in 2010. But just the fact of living with that history between my own family and having my own personal friends, and, it's like I said, it's kind of embarrassing, but I have really good friends that I can have these types of conversations with that can really give me an honest opinion on how they feel. Because I have a lot, like I said, a lot of associates that, are affected by that. And to have a show such as this, to have those two dynamics and to present it, to the world, and try to mesh those relationships, because those relationships are very important. And by it being such a funny and an intriguing show, you may have some fathers out there watching this show and looking at these small little steps that are being taken to men a relationship with one of their, long lost or illegitimate sons. Those are just, this show is like a stepping stone into that progress. And that's what I love about it, and being able to play with Dorien Wilson, man, it's like a mentor, and John Marshall Jones, these guys are veterans, so I'm constantly taking notes from these guys, and they're helping to make sure that I stay in line with what I'm doing, so everything stays, unique and honest.
It's a timely subject. TV One has Bad Dad Rehab. You know what I mean? So the subject of fatherhood, especially within the African American community, is starting to come back to the forefront, as it should. Because we've just been stripped of everything.
I don't even want to go there because like I said, I went to Egypt. I studied all kinds of knowledge. I studied of Ashwa Kwesi. I've gotten a lot of knowledge. I recognize and acknowledge how our people have our family structure has been just completely disrupted, and it's like this generation, it just seems that we're just trying to be to be accountable for what we doing, acknowledging this history, acknowledging all the things in the past, acknowledging how our families are just in disarray right now. We got some very, very good people out there that are the doctors, my man, I can't remember my man's name, man. I think his name is Perry, Dr. Perry. He's out there.
Oh, Dr. Steve Perry. Yeah.
Yes, my man. Yes. It's those types of brothers that are out there that are recognizing what's going on and putting their profession on the front line, and that's where I'm recognizing things. When we see our elders out there stepping up and dropping those jewels, it's helping to instill, our family values and bring out those morals in our television shows, even in our music, and I'm just glad to be a part of the process. I'm just a small part of this process, and it's a big project.
But what you're presenting, the visual, I think that's what when we were coming up, and now I'm probably twice your age. I'm not sure. I'm not gonna say how old I am, but when we were coming up, really, the family picture was, June and Wild, June and Cleaver, Leave It to Beaver.
Yeah.
And so you knew that, and I think that's why everybody thinks, the other side of the spectrum has it so good. They're still in that Leave It to Beaver thing, while we've been only seeing visuals of brothers dealing with abandonment by the fathers and the weakness of men. So that is something that Dr. Perry, with his school, or his chain of schools, actually, is helping to correct. And then, of course, we have, creators on television, on mediums like television, that have the intestinal fortitude to step up and slide this in. As they should. It's kind of a distract but educate at the same time. What do you think?
Yeah, I believe that's how it is. I mean, we don't control our image as much as we should. This is we live in a capitalistic society here. And everybody's about making money. Everybody loves making money. But when it comes at the expense of your culture, that's where we have issues.
Right.
Our culture is we're defining ourselves here, and as we define ourselves, you can sit there and do whatever you want to do when it's not on camera. But when you're being, put in stone on the big screen or on the small screen in an image or a personality about who you are, is representing all of your people, and when you don't have control of your image and you have, writers that are putting out projects that are depicting black people or African people, people of African descent in negative manners, that is being broadcast around the world. And therefore, an opinion we're being subjugated to these images. And it's, we have to get into control of our images. And that's why, I have so much respect for a brother like, Bentley Kyle Evans, man, who's the mastermind. This dude has all of these, it's one thing to look at tragedies in life and to try to turn it around and, turn it into a positive, That's an art form. That's an art form to sit here and take something so tragic and to flip it into something positive that you can learn from and teach others about. That's what we're dealing with here. This is like the subject matter in the cut, having this tragedy of how some families are, even, not just saying black families, but all families have these situations. And to be able to have a show that's able to, look at these two characters and see the dynamics and at the same time see them interacting, it all starts with the conversation.
I think what I like about it is that, our creators, the black creators, are starting to understand and make the world understand that, we can entertain without being your step and fetch it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
No disrespect to that pioneer, but still, we can entertain and do our lessons and without being overly aggressive. And I think that's the challenge maybe nowadays in this politically correct world of saying, hey, you got to step up without hurting somebody's feelings.
Yeah.
And you, because as soon as you hurt their feelings, their minds are closed. Oh, you ain't mine. Man, shut up.
Yes.
And just learn.
It turns into an emotional situation.
Right.
And that's where it's kind of like a funny game that we play. It's like, hey, we are looking at the negatives and the positives of the things that we're doing, and then you have the business side and the regular family side. They say don't mix business with pleasure, and you don't want to cross those lines. It's like, when it comes down to enriching our culture with good, wholesome content, it's
right.
It's this battle here where it's like, hey, if I go too happy-go-lucky, we're gonna lose people. If I go too serious, we're gonna be damaging our culture and lose a whole bunch of people. So you got this fine line where we're just trying to, as far as myself and my character, just trying to get people emotionally attached to what I'm doing and see what this character is going through and delivering it, so they can just walk away with what they choose to walk away with. But I'm trying to deliver it in the best way I can.
I think you're doing a good job. The screener, you're a familiar face, you're a familiar voice, and now, man, to move from, and I don't know how you guys as actors, I'm not an entertainer, how you guys rank it, from supporting cast to an actual co-star and a central character. Because the interplay here is going to be first forgiving your father and being able to even talk to him, and him getting over the surprise and saying, dang, where did I really go wrong? And then at the same time, he's being distracted. I don't know if this is a spoiler or not. No, it's not a spoiler. But
that's what makes it funny to me, kind of. It makes it kind of interesting to me because with the way I look at it, from my standpoint, is this is a man that established his business. He's living his life. He wasn't expecting no child to come walking through the door, introducing himself as his child. So it's just like, just that right there is like, I'm just having to look at how, as a father, you just live your life and you don't really care about your children or the influence that you could have had on your child, that you don't know if this child has some type of, internal, issue that's going on, and you're just happy-go-lucky successful. So this is the contrast I'm dealing with here, as my character is concerned. It's just understanding that dynamic, and when I spoke to a couple of my associates, those are the things that are kind of like what happens inside a real family. People live their lives as if others don't exist, and that's the issue. When you live your life as if others don't exist, and then someone tells you, especially from my character, hey, remember Beverly Clark, who's played by Rolanda Watts? It's like it starts this conversation, and it's I don't want to say too much, but as the show progresses, you're gonna start getting deeper into these characters, and my character, you're gonna start to see him almost like mirroring some of the things that his father is doing. Kind
without having known him. Isn't that weird?
Exactly. Exactly. So those are the things that, that I want the audience to be able to pay attention to, because you never know, there's a lot of brothers out there that don't realize that you're just like your father. You're just like your father. You just got to get to know him, and try to correct some of the wrongs that he's done, and make sure you don't walk in those same footsteps, It's a growing process.
Man, outside of, being a continuously working actor, man, what's the most fun about being Ken Lawson, the personality right now?
I think just the fun thing about it is just living life and just being professional, just trying to do good work and be recognized as doing good work. That's, as an actor, that's all I want to do, is portray honesty and bring characters to life. That's my job as an actor, to bring characters to life. And as long as the audience is conveying, getting the message being conveyed, that's my job. I don't, regardless of whatever it is, that's my main job. That's my focus.
Okay. You've done, Step in the movie was a breakaway from the comedic side. You know what I mean? Yeah. Do you? What are we going to see more of the serious side of Ken moving forward, or because you did well? I mean, it's complete. It was diametrically opposite of Baddies. You know what I mean? It was. Yes. And did you like the serious part, or are you more comfortable with the comedic side, delivering messages? I mean, which one, or, are you looking to do more film? I guess it's a long question, but.
I mean, I always try to approach it, the only thing I need to know is if it's a drama or a comedy, and I approach it as so. And I love playing dramatic roles, but I have such a history of just doing comedy. It's like it's I guess just my little twisted personality that I have, where I've been through issues, and like I said, you have a lot of negative things that happen to you throughout your life, and you can turn those tragedies and all those back steps into positive steps forward. And I think that's what I like about acting so much, is that looking at these characters, I can see their flaws. And when you see their flaws and they still try to be perfect, that's the twist. It's trying to find the funny part of this person, and that's I like doing that. I like looking at the twisted side of, I'm right, you're wrong, you got to change. Not me, you, you. And that's how I look at it, and I like twisting that. I like playing with that twist. Okay.
Well, you also got you're a writer, producer, rapper. You've had some movement on your music. Are we going to see any? Are we going to hear any of your music on this series?
Yes, this season I'm actually, Bentley allowed me to perform one of my songs on the show called "Change the World for the Better," this is great. But I've been doing music for years, even before I started acting. That's my main thing. That's what I like to express myself through music, and so I have a group that I'm in, that me and my friend got back together, called the West Cove Addicts, and we just started back into production. We're about to release our first single, which is going to be out on July 11th, called "Summertime Grind." All production by me. I mixed it and engineered it, produced it, and so I'm just going to be putting out more music from just my music and our music, and just doing it. I'm just really getting into my production and taking the time out to perfect that. It's a learning process, and I'm on it now. So we're moving.
Oh man, that's awesome though. That sync stuff is good. You know what I mean? It lasts forever. It'll help create. If you create great music, sync licensing is one of those things that can help you your music become eternal. You know what I mean? So it's really awesome. And what 60 million households you guys have at this point on Bounce TV. So, man, you can't get any better than that without a deal.
Exactly. And that's one thing. It's just really cool, man. You know, Bounce TV and just having a network that's focused on developing and putting out African American content. I love it. Just to be a part of this network coming from the bottom up, and then to be at the status of the number of households we have is just astounding. I'm like, wow. So I love it, man. It's one thing to just be an artist or be an actor. Like I tell some people, they ask for advice, and I say, hey, when I used to go around when I was just an extra, I used to be an extra on Clueless with Stacey Dash. Imagine that.
Yeah.
So I started out from the very bottom, and just to get to the point where you're hungry and you're dedicated and you're trying to perfect your craft, and then to slowly go from being an extra to someone that says nothing and just walks by. It's like to go from there to be the lead of my own show. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's a road travel.
Road travel is awesome. Is there anything you wanted to cover, man, that I may have neglected in this conversation?
Nah, brother. I think we just had a real cool, genuine conversation, and I really appreciate it, man. I mean, like I said, my only piece is I just want people out there that are, trying to get into the industry, that make sure when you come into this industry and anything that you're trying to do, make sure you come with the message and you stick with it.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. All right, tell us about the album and the single again.
West Coast Addicts, Summertime Grind, coming out July 11th. It's going to be something nice. Get your summertime grind on. Then in a few more weeks, I'll be dropping another single called Billionaire. It's got me singing some stuff on the vocals, so it's pretty fun.
Hey, but for the time being on Tuesday, he's going to blast onto the scene on Bounce TV. Yeah, In the Cut with Dorien Wilson. And that. I got, what? Everybody's allowed a pig moment, and I'm going to do this on air. And my pig moment at this time is Kellita Smith. Lord, Lord, Lord. That's all I can say. She plays Cheryl. Can we just collectively sigh together?
Yes, man. A moment of praise. Yes, sir. That's a great pig moment, man. That's going down in history right there. Great pig moment.
Yes. Season 2, In the Cut, premieres Tuesday, July 5th. Check out my man Ken Lawson. He's a total disruptor this season, and you're going to enjoy this and enjoy the truth. Yeah, man. It's on 9 p.m. I'm presuming that's Eastern time.
Yes.
Okay. So that'll be 6 o'clock Pacific.
West Coast.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
all right.
And I'll also, during the show, I will be tweeting and things like that, and just doing some interaction. So hey, let's get it in, man. I'm on social media. So let's get it.
Awesome. Hey, give them out. Let's give it out. It's Ken.
Oh yeah.
L.
Yeah.
I am Ken L.
Yes, and Twitter page is I am Ken L, KENL on Twitter, and also I am KENL at Instagram also.
Okay, it's awesome. This is a whole different type of barbershop movie, I'm gonna tell you, and it celebrates, African American entrepreneurship, and also dealing with real family issues like the long lost child coming out the woodwork. Yes, exciting. I love it.
Yes.
All right, man. Night Magazine live sessions. We've had Ken Lawson, my man. He plays Kenny, living up to his name, so it's going to be easy for him to play that role. In the Cut, all new season premieres July 5th, 9 8 Central on Bounce TV. Thank you so much for your time, man.
Hey, no problem, brother. Much love and respect, and shout out to all the barbers out there. Barber life all day, man. Represent for y'all. Much love.
Much love.